Sometimes the smallest decisions look meaningless in the moment, but years later they end up changing everything. Lives shift, destinies bend, and in some cases, the entire world is impacted because one person made one quiet choice. Today, we explore 3 such real stories. In the spring of 1986, a young man named Will walked across the University of Missouri campus with graduation only weeks away. He was supposed to become a journalist, but deep down he knew he didn't want that life. The only thing that truly inspired him were movies. Hollywood had been his escape since childhood, showing him worlds he never experienced in Missouri. And with real life approaching fast, he made a decision that sounded reckless to everyone around him. He dropped out and moved to Los Angeles to become an actor. But Hollywood did not welcome him. Thousands of hopefuls filled every audition, and Will was just another unknown kid with no connections. Rejection became routine. Bills piled up, so he took whatever work he could find. During the day, he sweated inside a giant chicken costume outside a fast food restaurant, waving at strangers. At night, he drove strippers to bachelor parties, played their music, cleaned up afterward, and drove them home. He believed it was temporary. One audition would change everything, but that audition never came. His dreams were slipping while low-pay jobs consumed all his time. Eventually, he quit one of the jobs to give acting one last desperate push. On his final limo shift, one of the dancers told him about a famous acting class where top agents occasionally visited. Will didn't care for training, he wanted roles, not lessons, but nothing else had worked, so he agreed to go. At the class, he was paired with another actor who had a real audition that night. Agents were there specifically to watch that actor perform. Will was just supposed to support, but when they acted the scene, Will's natural emotional talent took over. He didn't try to steal attention, he simply delivered truth. When the scene ended, the agents ignored the man they'd come to see and offered the part to Will instead. One small decision to attend one class became the start of a life no one expected. Today, the world knows Will by his middle name, Brad Pitt. In early April 1945, a starving 15-year-old girl named Etta lay weak and trembling on a pile of blankets inside a basement in the Netherlands. She weighed only 88 pounds. Her country had been under Nazi occupation for almost 5 years. Food was gone. Medicine was gone. Outside, bombs shook the streets as war closed in. Etta and her family hid refugees in that basement, knowing that discovery meant death for them all. Before the war, she had dreamed of becoming a ballet dancer, graceful and full of energy. But starvation had destroyed her strength. She could barely speak. She was waiting for the end. As explosions echoed above, she prayed for help. What came instead was a sharp whistle followed by a violent blast. The basement shook. Darkness swallowed everything. Hours or days later, Etta opened her eyes. Somehow, the basement had survived. Her family and the refugees were alive and outside. There was silence, no bombs, no gunfire, only calm. When they emerged, they found Allied soldiers marching through the streets. People were crying and shouting with joy. After nearly 5 years, the city had been liberated. Etta had survived by inches. If the bomb had landed slightly closer, or if the war had continued one more day, she likely would have died in that dark room. But she lived, and though malnutrition ended her ballet dreams, she found a new path. She began modeling, then acting. Only 8 years after nearly dying in that basement, she starred in a film called Roman Holiday and won an Academy Award. The world remembers her as Audrey Hepburn, a girl who survived the war, found a new dream, and rose to become one of the greatest actresses of all time. Our final story begins in 1889, inside an operating room at Johns Hopkins Hospital. Dr. William Halsted, a strict believer in hygiene at a time when many doctors didn't even wash their hands, required his surgical staff to scrub with boiling water, harsh soap, nail brushes, acid and chemical soaks. It was painful, but it saved lives. His team had one of the lowest death rates in the country. His head nurse, Caroline Hampton, followed the rules without complaint. But one day, as they stood drying their hands after the brutal cleaning ritual, Halsted noticed her skin blistered, cracked, and damaged. She never said a word, never asked for relief. But Halsted felt responsible. He also felt something else he had kept hidden. He was deeply in love with her. He believed she would never feel the same, so he kept it to himself and continued enforcing the rules that hurt her. For months, he searched for a way to protect her hands without breaking his own strict hygiene standards. Finally, he had an idea. He contacted a rubber company and asked them to create thin coverings shaped like hands. When the prototypes arrived, he rushed them to the prep room and handed them to Caroline. "Don't wash," he said. "Use these." She slipped them on. They fit perfectly. Within a week, her skin began to heal. That moment gave Halsted the courage to confess his feelings. To his shock, Caroline loved him too. They soon married. But history doesn't remember them for their romance. Their legacy comes from the simple invention Halsted created to protect the woman he loved. Those prototypes became the world's first rubber surgical gloves, now used in every hospital on Earth. A life-saving invention born from quiet love. 3 stories, 3 small choices. All of them changed the world in ways no one could have predicted. A class someone almost skipped, a bomb that almost hit, a pair of gloves created for one person. Sometimes the smallest decisions echo the loudest. If you want more real stories that reveal how hidden moments shape the world, you're in the right place. This is CaseFyx. Subscribe, share this video, and join us as we uncover the next story one truth at a time.